Imagine this. You wake up one morning, reach for your phone, and check your bank account. The balance reads 0. Not a low balance, not a pending transaction, but a clean, cold 0.00. You try to buy a coffee, but your card declines. You open your banking app, but it refuses to load. You call the customer service line, and a recorded voice says, "We are experiencing higher than normal call volumes. Please try again later." You haven't been hacked. Your identity isn't stolen. The truth is far more chilling. Your government just pressed a button. This is the story of how a single digital shockwave, starting in a small corner of the world, spread globally, freezing millions of bank accounts overnight. Our story begins in late 2025. A software engineer in Ho Chi Minh City, Nguyen Huy, wakes up early to pay his rent. He opens his banking app, but instead of the usual login screen, a strange message appears. Account under administrative review, all functions temporarily restricted. He thinks it's a bug. But within minutes, thousands of others across Vietnam are reporting the exact same thing. Debit cards stop working. ATMs refuse to dispense cash. Small crowds begin to gather outside bank branches, demanding answers. The official explanation, a temporary technical issue. But Nguyen, who works in cybersecurity, knows better. The precision, the speed, the uniformity of the problem, it doesn't feel like a glitch. It feels like someone somewhere flipped a central kill switch. He posts anonymously on a tech forum. This wasn't an error. This was a coordinated freeze. At the time, nobody believed him. The world wasn't ready to listen. But soon, it would have no choice. 2 days later, just as mysteriously as they were frozen, most of the accounts were restored. But not all of them. Thousands remained locked. The people affected seemed to have a few things in common. They had recently transferred money internationally, bought or sold cryptocurrency, received income from a foreign source, or moved large sums of money at unusual hours. While the public in Vietnam breathed a sigh of relief, global financial agencies were quietly taking notes. They weren't focused on Vietnam's stumble. They were fascinated by its success. Vietnam had just demonstrated something incredible. You can freeze a significant portion of a nation's money in minutes, and the public won't riot. They'll panic, they'll comply, and they'll wait patiently for their access to be restored. Vietnam had just run the perfect prototype, and now other nations wanted the full version. By early 2026, the real plan came to light through a series of leaked documents. It was a coordinated international program codenamed Project Quiet Hand. The goals were dystopian. First, link every bank account to a mandatory digital ID. Second, use AI to monitor all payments in real time. Third, generate a dynamic risk score for every single citizen based on their financial behavior. And finally, the masterstroke enabled the instant automated freezing of any account flagged as higher risk, all without needing a court order, a judge, or any human oversight. Even more shocking than the plan itself was the list of signatories. 41 countries had already secretly agreed to implement the system. Buried deep within the technical files was one terrifying sentence. In the event of a major financial threat, the protocol is to freeze first and explain later. Governments weren't afraid of an economic collapse. They were afraid of losing control. And digital banking had just handed them the ultimate tool, the power of an instant, society-wide financial shutdown. The trigger was pulled on March 14, 2026, at precisely 2:17 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. A global regulatory algorithm designed to hunt for threats flagged what it called catastrophic risk behavior in the world's commodity markets. To this day, no one knows if the threat was real or just a ghost in the machine. It didn't matter. Project Quiet Hand activated instantly. Banks across 11 participating countries received the same encrypted command. Emergency Protocol, Phase 1. Lock all higher-risk accounts. Within 90 seconds, 6.4 million accounts were frozen solid. The chaos was immediate. Travelers were stranded at airports, unable to buy tickets home. Small businesses couldn't pay their suppliers, grinding supply chains to a halt. Parents stood in grocery store lines with full carts, unable to buy food for their children. By sunrise, police were deployed to manage the growing lines outside banks. The official stories were a masterclass in misdirection. Governments blamed sophisticated cyber threats, banks blamed international network outages, tech companies blamed unforeseen system errors. Everyone pointed the finger at someone else, because no one wanted to admit the terrifying truth. A single, automated system had just turned off a part of the world's money supply, and there was no manual override switch. Back in Vietnam, Nguyen Huy watched the global news and felt a cold sense of dread. He recognized the pattern instantly. The same cryptic error messages, the same staggered timing, the same technical fingerprints from the glitch a few months earlier. He knew what he had to do. He worked tirelessly, compiling everything he could find, screenshots from affected users around the world, server timestamps, leaked internal memos, and personal testimonies. He packaged it all into a single explosive report. He titled, "The Digital Kill Switch: How Governments Can Freeze You Overnight." He uploaded it. For a few hours it went viral, spreading like wildfire across social media and encrypted messaging apps. Then it vanished. It was systematically deleted from every major platform, its links scrubbed, its keywords shadow banned, but it was too late. Millions had already seen it. His report inspired other whistleblowers inside banks and government agencies to come forward, confirming the existence of Project Quiet Hand. The fear that had been simmering beneath the surface finally boiled over, turning into a worldwide run on the banks. In their attempt to prevent a crisis, the governments had created the very crisis they feared. Within a week, facing total collapse of the financial system, all accounts were quietly restored. Public apologies were issued. Officials went on television, their faces grim, insisting this was a tragic accident. "We have put safeguards in place to ensure it will never happen again." But the trust was gone, forever. People around the world finally understood a terrifying new reality. Digital money isn't really yours. It's a privilege, not a right. It exists only as long as a system, an institution, a government allows you to access it. A single command, sent from an anonymous server, can erase your entire financial life. Your savings, your business, your very identity are vulnerable to a silent, invisible switch. The world had crossed a line, and there was no going back. Months later, Nguyen received an encrypted email from an unknown source. It contained just one sentence: "Phase 2 begins soon." Was it a genuine leak, a warning, or a threat? We don't know. But one truth is now set. In a world rapidly moving towards a cashless society, in a financial system built on total surveillance, your bank account is no longer just a number. It's a tool of control. And the moment someone decides you're a risk, you won't get a warning. You won't get a message. You won't even get an explanation. You'll just wake up, open your app, and see zero.